We're gonna do the makeup. I'm gonna start with a little bit of foundation just to even out her skin, especially with the older girl. Put a little base on. I think you got some chocolate on your face there, Peanut. Anyway, get the point of that, right, everybody? Okay, easy peasy. Now, I'm going to do her eyeliner first because I like to make sure that there's not a line between her eyelashes and the false eyelashes. Sometimes if you don't get it right on there, it leaves like a little funny line. So I personally like to put the eyeliner on first. However, you know, I think that can be up to you. We're just gonna bring this across. Okay, we'll do the bottoms in a minute. Now I'm gonna go on to her eyelashes. Now, for some of the younger girls, if it seems a little long, like when you put the eyelashes onto their eyes, if it seems like it's hanging way off over to the side, just take a little scissor or clip or whatever and just trim off a little bit of the length of the eyelash. It doesn't have to be the full length of it, just as long as we can get it on and make them look nice. Also, there's one end that's shorter than the other as far as the length of the actual lashes. The short length will go towards the inside of their eye. So now we're just gonna take the glue, which came in the package. It's this little bugger. So you're just gonna take the little dauber, I guess you could call it, and it's getting a little sticky. Just put the glue right on this line here. I can't see if I got it on there for sure. Hang on. Okay, now once that's on there, let it dry a little bit just so it gets kind of tacky. You don't want to stick it on her eyes while it's sopping wet. Blow on a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to shut your eye. I'm going to take and get it as close to her lash line as I can. And it's of course going to stick to my finger right now. And sometimes I do, like she just said, get the toothpick. I don't know where mine went, but just to kind of stick it on there so it doesn't stick to my fingers. I'll take a toothpick or a bobby pin, just kind of dab it on there. Oops, stuck to my finger again. Here, actually, you got a bobby pin in your hand. Mm-hmm. Might be a little safer than a toothpick. Okay, so now you kind of want to let it dry though for a little bit with her eyes shut. Okay, so keep your eyes closed. Next, we'll go on to the eyeshadows. Sorry, I'm sitting on my knees. It actually says what's on there: base, lid, crease, and line. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the darkest, which is, actually, I'm lied. I'm gonna go to the base first, which would make sense since it says base, and put that over the whole eyelid first. It's coming off. Just sweep it across her whole eye. A little bit more. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the darkest at the very bottom. Get on there, and I'm just going to put this right at the line of her lashes. And sometimes it seems like it's dark, but go ahead and go dark. The lights on the stage really wash them out, so we want their eyes to pop. So if it's dark, it's not the end of the world. It's kind of a nice thing. So that's the dark. Now I'm going to go to the lid, which is the second one. I'm just going to kind of put that next, just kind of brush it over. And then I'm going to go to the crease, which is a little bit of a shimmer. And that goes like right in the middle, the crease of their eyes. And the little girls, it's a little bit harder since their eyes are a little bit smaller. Eyelids are smaller. Just kind of want to define it a little bit. When you turn your head at me a little bit. Good. And then I'm going to go back one more time with the dark and just make sure it's nice and dark at the base of her eyelashes here. Okay, can you open your eyes? Is my eye sticking? Okay, now I'm going to take the blush brush and just kind of swoop it over a little bit just to kind of get some of the loose powder off her face. Okay, now you can open that eye. I think that looks pretty good. We could even go a little bit darker. So I'm going to do a little bit more. And then you can kind of gauge it when you guys are doing it also. just kind of play with it. All right, so the darker the better for the most part. Now, we're gonna go on to the blush, which is your cool looking blush slash kind of bronzer. Get a good amount on your brush it onto her cheeks. And you can actually use your finger a little bit too, if you feel like that helps, just to get it on there good. And then blend it with the brush. My head's not getting in the way. Sorry.
No.
And you want this to look nice and dark too, because we want them to have some color on stage. Okay? That looks all right. The more the better on the blush too, and keep them standing out. Now we have your lipstick. I think we all know how to put on lipstick, but we'll just put it on anyways. Everyone should have the same color. Just make sure it's nice and dark and on when you go on stage. So you're gonna have to reapply. One time a day probably won't be enough. So you'll wanna put it on almost every time before you go on stage, especially after you eat or drink. Okay, smear them together. Let me see. Beautiful. Okay, so that's that. Also, if you can, especially older girls, I would put the liner on the lower lashes. Little ones, I know it's a little tricky. Obviously, she's pulling her head back right now. Do the best you can, but a little bit of liner underneath works kind of nice to define them too. Now, the mascara, just to blend the eyelashes together. Look up. Blink. So you're just kind of putting their natural lashes in with the other ones. Open your eyes. And then on the bottoms, got some music going on. Look down, honey. There. Okay. And then we're not going to do the other eye for today, but it's about how she should look. So just make sure that when they're on stage, they've got nice bright eyes and bright lips. You smile?